Well, good morning on a Monday morning. As usual, it's Monday, best day of the week. And we just went through a big change because the time changed over the weekend, and we're now no longer in daylight savings time. And probably we ask ourselves, why? Why does our government do this? But that's the question to you today. In preparation for this, I did something. I looked up a couple things on Google over the last couple days, and that is how many books have been written about the word why. And here's a couple for you. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. Another one is The Book of Why by Judea Pearl and Dana McKeesey. Another one by Simon Sinek, Find Your Why. And another one, Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaya. And that was what this is all about because often, as Cheryl and I have done, we have friends and family members that have faced tragic events recently. And, you ask yourself the question of why. But what we've really got to do is start asking ourselves the why before we get involved in something. Why are we going to do what we're going to do? It's just like doing this broadcast this morning. I put together my thoughts that I wanted to share with you of why. And then a person that has such good input often is my wife, Cheryl. And I just sent a message up, hey, I'm getting ready to go live. You want to join me? And there she is, ready to give her thought process on the whys of this world. So, Cheryl, as I talk about looking at the whys, you and I are at an age that we can look back over our lifetime, our experiences, and we ask ourselves a lot of times the whys. Whenever I say this, tell me what the thoughts are in your mind about the word why.
Well, I think why's in about everything we do. And we ask it because we don't have the answers many times. Many times we do, but many times we just need validation as to why. I mean, it's like losing family members. Why? Why should I have to do that? But it's all in the presentation of the day. That's what happens. Like they say, there's only two things that are guaranteed: taxes and death. And so we've had to face that twice this week. But we ask why about everything we do. And you need to really look at things before you have to do that. I mean, say the things you've got to say, do the things you've got to do. That's not just in death, that's in everything you do. Stay one step ahead of why.
That's it. And that's why you've got to study history. You've got to look at your own life experiences because so often, the why sometimes is an automatic reaction. The why can come from panic, the why can come from any number of things. But have you ever been through life and something happened that you actually caused and you sit there? It's like you take a fall and you're laying in the floor and you wonder, why did I just step on that ice? We didn't think about it. Why did I not clean off my shoes and leave this track of mess across the floor? But you go through things such as we got two dogs, Bubba and Abby, and sometimes they don't make it outside, and we wonder why. But that's their thought processes, and when you look at it, then you set your plans from the why. It's just like right there. We know that those puppies have got to go outside every once in a while to do their personal thing, and they love to run outside. When you see Abby go out the door, she is after something out there and chasing like a she is just like out of control. Runs out the door, barking and barking and barking, and we have no idea what she imagines out there. I'm imagining that there's some squirrel that she thinks is sitting out there in the backyard that she's got to get off her property. So it's all about the whys. And see, that's what you got to do. But you've also got to examine the whys of the people that work for you. Why do they do what they do? Why do they have the desires that they have? And that's part of leadership is understanding the whys of the people that you lead. Cheryl, you do a lot of interviewing of people, and often you may ask the question, why are you applying for a job? What do you learn from asking the question why of a job applicant? Why are they looking?
Actually, some of them don't know the why. They're just looking. But the why usually is answered back as they're looking for something better. They're looking for a place they can be cared about. They're looking for a lot of things. The majority of them honestly are not looking for money. So ask yourself why, if you're an employer, why do my people not want to work for me?
Yeah. And and that's what we go through. And you often see people make statements and they make them on social media. And sometimes, and I said something the other day, I think Facebook needs to add a control mechanism, Cheryl, that when you post something, all of a sudden a button comes up and says, "Are you sure you want to post this?" Because I think so often people get so carried away. They have so much passion about a subject that they fire off and there's no data to back up their opinion. They often say things that it is a personal opinion, it is conjecture, but it's actually an unproven fact. And we see this go on every day on social media. It just drives you up the wall. And sometimes you have to just control yourself from putting that up there. It was like one of the things that I posted over the weekend on an industry forum was actually a quote by a guy by the name of Joey the Clown from our younger days. Because Joey the Clown used to host a kids show every afternoon. And during that, Joey would get the kids around him. And one of his quotes was, "Hey, kids, be nice to each other. All we have in this old world is each other." And that was even challenged when I said something about that you need to be nice because someone wanted to challenge the word nice and come up with, he preferred the word kind. And in my mind, being nice, being kind, even though there is a definition difference if when I Googled it, because hey, when somebody opposes my opinion, I'm going to go do research into it. I could remember one time whenever I was doing a class and I used the word y'all. And a guy that was in that class told me, he said he took it offensively. And after he told me that, I did some research. What am I saying? Because the word y'all, that's how we talk in the South. It really, really is. And as I did my research, I actually found out why y'all was offensive to that individual. And see, that's what I think we have to do in this world. We've got to understand others. And each of us has our own decisions in life of the whys of what we do and why we do it and how we're going to do it. So, Cheryl, is anything you want to add before we end this live this morning? I just want to get everybody's Monday morning started with a little bit of thought process today because we may have people listening to us today that are going through that question of why, when it's something decided by a higher power that's beyond human comprehension. But there are so many things that are up to human comprehension. So, any parting thoughts from you today?
I just want to reiterate what Joy the Clown said. It doesn't matter if it's nice, if it's kind, if it's loyal, if it's whatever that word is that makes you better to another person, to a group of people. I see so much whining and crying, and they didn't ask why, and they didn't care what the other person thought.
That's it. So this is Jerry Eisenhower, Cheryl Eisenhower, coming to you from cb6successgroup.com. And our role, our mission, and what we do is we help people determine those whys. We help them with those challenges. We help them derive at the decisions that they're going to go through in order to get what we call their business and life dreams. So appreciate you joining us this morning for a few brief minutes. We hope this will give you some thought processes and give you strength to go forward as in the right ways. So appreciate you joining us. It's an honor, it's a privilege, and a pleasure. So and also join us this Friday on our broadcast of the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network because this week we got a really special guest and we're going to talk about exit plans from a business and how when it's time to sell the business, what are the whys of what you've got to do to prepare that and how you're successful in that exit plan. So look forward to joining you then. Appreciate you joining us this morning. Have a great, great week as we head through another week in the life that we live. Talk to you later.